Hi guys! Today's Venus Tips is all about the invert. I'm going to take you through and show you some exercises that you can do, some drills that you can do in order to help you understand the momentum that you need and the timing you need. We'll also take it down to the floor first so that you can practice this even if you have just begun. So let's take a look. The first thing I want you guys to understand is that the side pole hold is your best friend here. You want to make sure that you have a good solid understanding of your side pole hold, okay? So that means you need to work on that from the very beginning. This is why we start working on it right away, because it's something that you're going to use a lot. So your side pole hold. You need to be able to do this solidly before you start to actually try and invert from standing. Even if you don't have your side pole hold, you can still work on this from the floor. So keep that in mind. Before you begin your invert practice, make sure that it's nice and warm. Make sure that your body is warm so that you will grip. If you find that you're a colder person like I am, where your skin doesn't perspire as much and you don't stick as well, make sure that if you need to, you use a little grip aid. That will help you stick. If you're one of the lucky ones and you perspire just enough that it helps you grip, that is perfect and awesome. If you sweat, that's a whole different kind of grip aid. You want something that's an antiperspirant that will help dry your skin. So keep that in mind. Skin contact is important. So if you've been shy about putting on smaller clothing, now is the time to just go ahead and do it. Having that extra skin contact when you're using your side pole hold is really going to be helpful. So don't be shy. Go ahead, get that skin contact because you'll need it. It'll help. The next thing we're going to do is take it to the floor. So the first thing you're going to learn is how to get your hips up over your head and where your legs are going to go. I think that's kind of the confusing part. If you try and do it from standing, then once you get up there, you're like, whoa, where my legs are supposed to go? I don't know. So you come down to the floor. You're going to lay to the side of your pole. And you're actually going to start like you would be using your side pole hold position. So you're going to go from under your armpit, and as you come up, it's going to come to the top of your hip bone. So just above your hip bone. And that's exactly where you want it to be. So you're going to start armpit right by the pole like you're doing a side pole hold. Then you're going to use the feet and press your hips way up high as you can. From this point, you're going to take the outside leg and reach it up as high as you can. If you don't have a lot of flexibility, it might end up way down here. That's okay. You can still go ahead and hang on and work your way up, however you need to do it. So this outside leg is coming to the side of the pole that is closest to your face. Back of the calf, back of the ankle area. You're going to press this into the pole and lift your other leg out, bringing it to the opposite side. And then scoot your hips up. Come back down. So this is something you can practice before you can even do any of your side pole holds. If you can't do it, you can still work on this. So you're going to lift the hips up, outside leg, hook it as high up as you can. Don't worry if it's not as high as mine though. Press into the pole with the leg, squeeze with the armpit, press, and pull the hips up. This action of pulling the hips up is very important. By lifting your hips up, you're going to allow yourself to free your hands eventually. So that's an important part to understand and to remember, that once you get up, you need that little extra oomph to get those hips, get those knees past your hands. So focus on that. I'll show you from this angle. So here we are, side pole hold, squeezing in, hips come up, outside leg reaches across to the front side of the pole near your face. Push into the pole with your leg. Bring the opposite leg behind. Squeeze up and squeeze the knees. See if you've gotten far enough, you should be able to release your hands. Now practice coming down in a nice tuck position. You never want to just slam down though. So the best way to go about it if that tuck is too difficult is just to slide all the way down, keeping the ankles at the pole, and let your butt come all the way down to the floor. We're going to come into a modified side pole hold. So from here, it's a low grip. You're still using your side pole hold. In fact, you're really using it. So you're going to come to the side of the pole, hips always in front, squatting way down like you're sitting in a chair, and then making sure that the pole is never pressing on your ribs. You want the pole up here, squeezing up here, not resting along the ribs. So push those ribs past the pole. So you're just using that armpit area. Right here, drop it down. From this point, and you can get down really low if you want to. From here, keep the hips pulled up. Then, if you have the flexibility, you can begin working on the invert from here. Pull the hips up. Slide down all the way. Now this is not easy because you're not using momentum. So you don't have the advantage of the way I teach you the invert in the basic invert where you're stepping and sweeping. However, this is a great way to get to understand where the legs go again, and it will build up your strength. So the issue you might have is if you don't have the flexibility to get your leg up there, you're going to need to come down as low as possible. If you have more flexibility, you can stay up higher. So the lower you go, remember, keep those hips forward. You can come way down here if you need to. Gripping solid. Now you know you have your solid grip because otherwise you'd be down here. Up high, squeeze it high, lift that chest, outside leg, up. And slide it down. Chest up. Hips up, all right? And then once you get that leg up, pull those hips up again. Now let's take a look at a technique that we can use to practice the timing. So once you understand where your legs are going and that you need to pull the hips up and your positioning with your arms, now we need to work on being able to do this in a nice, fluid, controlled motion up to the pole. This will make it way prettier than trying to deadlift and much easier on your back. Deadlifting into an invert is advanced, so don't try and do this from standing with your legs in front of the pole without any sort of momentum. It's really stressful. It's really something that is more advanced. You can totally do that once you become stronger. So for now, just stay with that moving technique up to the pole. So here's what I'm talking about. And this is in the actual lesson, the timing. So you're going to step with the inside foot past the pole. So you're behind the pole, step past the pole. Behind the pole, step past the pole. As you do this, then you're going to bring it into the armpit and cross. Just keep practicing this. You can even time it to music so you get this sequence down. Next, you're going to add the outside leg. After you have stepped across, this leg's going to sweep. You're not going to go all the way up right now. You're just practicing your timing and your gripping. You're back here. And up. Make sure that you're looking up with the foot, with the head. Look up. So just keep drilling that over and over. This is something that you should do every time you practice your inverts, and it's something that I'll ask you to do throughout the basic invert program. So keep that in mind. Let's take one last look. Step inside, catch with the arm, sweep outside. Step, catch, sweep. Step, catch, sweep. Step, catch, sweep. Okay, now let's take a look at the whole thing. Here I am, behind to the back. I'm going to step inside, catch, sweep up. Then I'm going to lift, slide down with control, all the way. And see, I can come down with control all the way because I'm using this front foot to help leverage myself against the pole. That way my arms aren't having to do all of it as I come down to the floor. Well, I hope you guys found this helpful. Please check out the Invert program. It's really helpful. It's going to help you build your strength. Even if you have an invert, it'll be excellent for using as a workout for 30 days. And of course, it will improve your inverts. This can be used to help you work up to your aerial inverts as well, because we're using the same basic principles and you're building strength through the exercises that I'll have you do. So even if you can invert and you're like, well, I can't quite invert aerially, this will definitely help you. All right, guys, thanks. I'll see you later. Bye.